Before we get into the important news, make sure in the comments down below to leave your FPL questions, and maybe you will get your question answered tomorrow. But we are here to talk about Jadon Sancho. That's probably the biggest news coming out of yesterday, where he joined Manchester United for 73 million. Now, of course, the deal was put in place before yesterday, but everything had to be finalised. Medicals had to be passed. But Jadon Sancho is now officially a Manchester United player, and he comes in at 9.5 million on the FPL Game. So to those of you that did get that right, 9.5 million on a previous video where we guessed what his price would be, well done to you guys. So a quick shout out to Rune Wilkinson from Norway, Josh Brocklehurst, who was so confident he put it in the comments twice, Depeche Mishra, Kieran OS, Rated R, Mashed Potatoes, Liam Martin, and Pocket Gunner for getting 9.5 right in the comments of a previous video. You guys were spot on, and I told you we'd bask in your glory. So what does that mean for us FPL managers though? What it means for us is we've got a player joining the league at a decent price, 9.5 million, that has scored 50 goals in his last 137 appearances for Borussia Dortmund. However, this is in the Bundesliga, and if we look back to last year, surely we remember another highly rated Bundesliga player that came to the Premier League and didn't really hit the ground running and was a bit of a disappointment. And to be honest, he came in at slightly cheaper, if memory serves me correctly, and was still disappointing. It is not set in stone that a player that comes from the Bundesliga will not perform in the Premier League. We are looking at a player that is good enough for Manchester United to make him the second most expensive English signing and the fourth highest Manchester United signing, and also a player with the underlying stats since the 2018-19 campaign started that he's amongst the top 10 players for combined goals and assists, equaling the likes of Harry Kane with 76 combined goals and assists since the 2018-19 season. For comparison, in the Premier League, Mohamed Salah is on 86. As far as assists are concerned, he's the third highest ranked player for assists since the 2018-19 campaign, coming third only to Lionel Messi and Thomas Müller. He got 7 more assists than Kevin De Bruyne. Now, Kevin De Bruyne, of course, had injuries that probably played the amount of assists he got, but that is still pretty damn impressive. Speaking of Thomas Müller, he's come out with a quote that is on the Sky Sports website where he says, Jadon Sancho manages to create dangerous situations with his technique, his speed and his dribbling. There are other dribblers with similar qualities in the Bundesliga, but they don't have the outstanding decision making that Jadon Sancho has. Over the last 3 seasons, Sancho's assists per 90 at its lowest was 0.48 per 90, and his chances created per 90 at its lowest was 2.34 chances created per 90. With the addition of Sancho to Bruno Fernandes at Manchester United, you now have 2 players that are very capable of creating chances for the likes of Rashford, Greenwood and Edison Cavani. Even Lingard is being talked about as a player that could fight his way back into that Manchester United starting 11. So while Sancho at 9.5 could be an amazing option and could be your alternative to Bruno Fernandes, we have to remember, of course, Bruno Fernandes has done it in the Premier League. He's on penalties, and he is one of the highest scoring players in the game from last season. Sancho may take some time to adjust, and potentially with the squad that Man United have, they may slowly get him into the Premier League. We don't know yet, but Sancho is definitely one to keep an eye on, and he also may improve the output of Greenwood and Rashford significantly. Greenwood and Rashford both have great pace and can get in behind defences, and of course Sancho is a type of player that can find them with passes, as is Bruno Fernandes. So the look of Man United's attack now is starting to become very, very promising indeed. Will I personally be putting Sancho in my starting 11? I think because I got burned by Timo Werner last season, that's probably unlikely to happen right from the off, but I will be ready to jump on him extremely quickly because I do think he's a very promising FPL asset now that he's joined Manchester United. In other news, and staying with Manchester United, Varane is close to agreeing personal terms with Manchester United, but apparently, according to the Daily Mirror, Madrid and United are about £10 million apart on their valuation of the player. Man United are also interested in Eduardo Camavinga, and to be honest, if they do get these 2 players as well, you're looking at a Manchester United side that is significantly stronger than last season, and last season they got second. However, Pogba does look like he could be going. He hasn't signed a new contract despite one being offered to him. And to be honest, they probably need a player like N'Golo Kante or Wilfred Ndidi or someone of that nature, and Camavinga doesn't really fit that role in my eyes. So there is still one area of that team that does need some work. But if Varane comes in, you've got Varane, Maguire, Shaw and Wan-Bissaka. That is a pretty good backline, potentially in front of Dean Henderson or David De Gea. So Manchester United looking very strong going into this season and have the fixtures where we could potentially be looking at a double up on Man United. Moving away from Manchester United, The Sun claims Harry Kane has been given the green light to join Man City, with Bernardo Silva potentially being the sacrifice player. Now, it's not clear if he's going to be sacrificed as in sold to another club or if he's going to be swapped for Harry Kane. And to be honest, it is The Sun, so we do need to take that news with a pinch of salt. And I believe the Harry Kane saga will go on through the majority of this transfer window. But it will be, of course, vital for us to make our decisions on Harry Kane. Whether he stays at Tottenham or goes to Man City, we've all got a call to make. And staying on the subject of strikers, Barcelona could sell Antoine Griezmann to resolve their issues staying under the La Liga budget for wages and costs going out due to players. Tottenham have asked to be kept updated on the situation according to the Star on Antoine Griezmann. And there are rumours that other clubs like Chelsea and Man City are keeping an eye on that situation in case they don't get Kane and Haaland respectively. And meanwhile, Liverpool, they're not doing anything. They're not sitting there on their hands. They are looking at AC Milan midfielder Frankie Kessie, who is apparently out of contract next summer. He could be coming in, especially with the likes of Jordan Henderson getting older. Maybe they're looking to freshen up their midfield, and Kessie could be a great addition to that workhorse midfield of theirs. And then finally, we quickly go over some pre-season performances. We start off with Walsall versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa winning that game 4-0, and the standouts being Buendia at 6.5 million in FPL, getting 2 assists straight to the feet of Ollie Watkins at 7.5 million. With 2 great through balls that Ollie Watkins put away, potentially Aston Villa with the likes of Buendia and Grealish, if he stays there behind Ollie Watkins, could provide us great value even though their prices have been bumped up slightly. And Matthew Cash at 5 million at Aston Villa also looked good down the right, linking up with Buendia. And Colchester United against Spurs ended up 3-0 Tottenham Hotspurs on the back of signing a new contract with Spurs. Heung-min Son managed to get 1 goal and 2 assists, and he led the line in Harry Kane's absence, which of course is interesting to us to see what potentially Nuno could do if Harry Kane does leave Spurs during this transfer window. Anyway guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video. Make sure in the comments down below to leave your FPL question, which I will answer tomorrow. Get that down there now, hit that like button just to support me in the YouTube algorithm, and I will catch you guys next time.